Hey guys, it's Bub here. In this video, we're taking a look at Windows 7 Project 7602. Now, this specific version of Windows 7 is a mod that modernizes Windows 7 and adds support for things like TPM 2.0 and NVMe drives. So unlike many other builds that we take a look at, which is basically like Windows 10 looking like Windows 7, this is actually Windows 7 at its core with additional modifications to modernize it, again, to support things like TPM 2.0, NVMe drives, things like that. So you can scroll down here and see some additional changes here, such as, again, TPM 2.0, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer is disabled because of security reasons, NVMe drivers are added, they modernize the classic theme, context menus are animated, WinVer, Control-Alt-Delete. There's a lot of interesting things here, so I'm very eager to take a look at this to see what this OS looks like and feels like. Obviously, it'll look a lot like Windows 7, but what are the key differences in this build compared to original versions of Windows 7? So thank you to Anonymous for creating this, and thank you to the commenter who recommended I look at this on my last video. If you have any video recommendations, please leave them in the comments of this video. Alright, so here we are in our hypervisor VMware, and you can see here that I do have this set up as a UEFI system. I do not have TPM 2.0 enabled, but I don't think we really need to. Mostly UEFI is going to be an interesting test because Windows 7 traditionally didn't run on UEFI, so we're going to see how this runs just the way that it is today. Now that I've said this out loud, I do believe that I have seen this out in the wild, not in the wild, but in other YouTube videos of people installing Windows 7 on modern UEFI systems, so this may have been what they were doing, or they did some other sort of magic hack. This is the setup screen here. So we did see in the change notes that this was a modified version of Windows PE on Windows 10. So you can see copyright 2015. It does have some of the Windows 10 attributes, but overall it is themed to be Windows 7. Again, only the setup process, what we're in right now, is not original Windows 7. This is just ripped out of Windows 10 for modern hardware compatibility, but it's installing that modified version of Windows 7. So we'll go ahead and accept the terms, do a custom install, and here we go. So I'm going to let this install. We'll be back once I have VMware Tools installed and we're ready to go. Alright, and here we are in the setup. Now, one thing I did have to do was I had to go back and switch the VM from UEFI to our traditional BIOS. The reason for that is because when I was booting in UEFI, I just got stuck on the starting Windows screen. I don't know why. I thought this was supposed to support UEFI, but apparently not. So we're now running on a legacy BIOS. But let's go ahead and enter Windows. Because this genuinely is Windows 7, I'm not going to spend too much time taking a look at this here because, again, this is the Windows 7 we all know and love every single day. But let's see some of those modifications that have been included to make it more modern. Alright, and here we are. So as we saw in the release notes, it is going to require us to send Control-Alt-Delete. And this is a great point because I don't think that we set up a username. So I'm not exactly sure how to log in. Maybe just administrator with no password. Again, we never set a username and password, so I don't know. Oh, I guess that was it. Just administrator with no password because now we're getting logged in. So I was trying to get VMware Tools installed, but the installer took about 20 minutes just to get to this point. Now, I've installed VMware Tools countless times. In fact, every Monday for the last 6 years since COVID began for this YouTube channel. And I've never seen it take this long, and I've never seen it fail. There is something weird going on in the background of this operating system that's making it so unstable, or making VMware Tools so unstable that it just won't install. So we're going to go ahead and proceed without VMware Tools, but just know that we should have Arrow enabled, but it's just, we're seeing the non-Arrow version of Windows 7 here. So this looks exactly like we would expect Windows 7 to look like with some tweaks. First of all, we have our Windows directory printed in the bottom right hand side. Windows doesn't normally do that. We also see that our icons here are flat. They're like Windows 8 or Windows 10 icons, specifically the network icon. Nothing else looks too abnormal there. And then probably the biggest change is shifting over to this left side here where our start button doesn't have the orb. It just has a Windows flag logo. So let's go ahead into this Windows start menu here, and we can see again that our profile picture has been changed to the more modern Windows 8 profile picture by default. I think that shipped in Windows 8. It was one of those 2012, 2013 Metro UI aspects. Going down the pinned applications by default, we do have Solitaire on there, which I find interesting. But going through here, we do see we have Internet Explorer, except it's only the reference. Internet Explorer doesn't actually open because it is disabled. We do, however, have Microsoft Edge. And notice that when I clicked on Microsoft Edge, you saw that I had a loading wheel by my cursor, and it was the modern Windows 10 UI one, not the one from Windows 7. But let's go ahead, and here we are. This was an older version of Windows. I believe it came out in 2022, so we're probably running Edge. Let me just take a guess. 112. Oh, wow, even older than that. Chrome Edge 101. I don't even know if anything still supports Edge 101 today, which is probably why this isn't loading. But let's go ahead and close out of that. You can even see the theme at the top of this. It looks like classic Google Chrome because it basically is. Under accessories, we have clock. This is the clock application that came from Windows 3.1. I don't know why it's on here, but it is. Also Clipbook Viewer, which is also another Windows 3.1 application. I don't know why those are on this OS, but they are. I don't see any other ones here though. That's unique. Ease of access, system tools, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Games, we do have all of our games, including a few other ones. Like there's Tinker, but it wouldn't run. Some of these other games that were not included with Windows. I don't think this came with Windows 7, but it's on here now. And again, you can just see how slow it is to load things. So I'm not sure why everything is so slow. I mean, we gave the system, I think, enough CPU and RAM. I don't know why it's... Oh, we only gave it 2 gigs of RAM, but still, Windows 7 should be able to handle that, especially on a clean install. And then under maintenance, we have our traditional maintenance, and there's nothing under startup. So let's go ahead and close out of the game that we just opened. Let's take a look in File Explorer. Again, nothing too out of the ordinary because this is a Windows 7 install. The ISO itself is 2.52 gigabytes, and as for our installed size, we are taking up 13.8 gigs of a 59.5 gig disk, meaning that we have 45.6 gigabytes free. And then lastly, let's go ahead and take a look at our task manager. Here is our CPU and RAM utilization. So we're using about half a gig, 541 megabytes of memory, and then 0% CPU usage. So, we saw the typical spike that we see when we look at CPU usage, but it seems to have, idled out for the most part. I don't see anything, I don't know what ATD control is, but I don't see anything too out of the ordinary running under processes. And here's your services list. Lastly, let's go ahead and run WinVer. We can see it. Yep, it's showing up as Windows 7.1. So I guess that's what they're calling it, and that's what I'm going to call it. Oh, it's even Windows 7.1 down here. I didn't see that anywhere on the archive.org posting unless I missed it somehow. I didn't realize that that's what it was called. So that being said, this is an overview of our newfound Windows 7.1. Definitely let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, and if you have any other ISOs you want me to take a look at, please also leave them in the comments down below. I find it interesting that DPM 2.0 all of this support, but I personally couldn't get it to work in UEFI. I'm sure if I did a little more troubleshooting, I could have got it to work, but in this short time frame I had, I didn't get it to work. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, as I do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.